And one of the most joyful parts of my job is gender-affirming care. Not only because I'm trans myself, but also because my gender identity, my identity, is like a power tool here. It opens doors. It establishes trust. Hi, I'm Dr. Billie Swiggard. I'm one of the providers here at the Mazzoni Center. I have specialty training in infectious diseases and a background in HIV research. First off, it's an internationally recognized center of excellence for HIV care. And the second thing that caught my eye and kept going around my mind was the slogan, "We are you." They really mean that. That is the reality of working here. Basically, every provider here is a member of the community for which we provide care. But how did I get here? Well, you should know that medicine is a second career for me, and that I began as an actor and guitar player, folk singer. I led a charmed life, and I've been lucky enough to be in 3 Broadway shows and a number of national tours, and the most famous thing I was in was the rock musical Hair. Oh yes, I was. And back in the early 1980s, many of my beautiful, young, talented friends were dying these truly horrifying deaths of this disease that we did not understand. And someone extremely close to me went from having a perfect dancer's body to a human skeleton who went blind from CMV retinitis and was covered with the purple lesions of Kaposi sarcoma and died at age 28, and there was nothing anyone could do. And it may sound corny, but I stood at his grave and realized that the time had come for a second career, and that what I was going to do was go back to school and learn how to fight AIDS. So I began my transition at work as a working physician. I had been at this Massachusetts hospital for 15 years when I began my transition. And they were very liberal and tolerant, but the vast majority of them were cisgendered straight people. And there came a time when I truly needed a new start. Looked at a few places, but none of them particularly seriously. I kept coming back to "We are you," the Mazzoni Center slogan. And I strongly suspected that Mazzoni Center was going to be the ideal place for me to practice medicine. And if I had any doubts, they were eliminated when I interviewed for this job, and was amazed at how sweet and kind and interesting all of my colleagues were, and how many people were like me, gender diverse. Above all, I find myself learning every day. And I hope that I can serve as an example that you don't have to do this when you're 19 years old. It is possible to become yourself at any age before death. One of the other joyful things is to witness a person becoming their true selves, a process that takes months to years. And the more I do this, the more I realize that the process never stops. Transitions never end. I truly believe now that they are a lifelong process of becoming and of bringing the body and the soul ever closer together. Roughly 2 weeks ago, a patient that I'm extremely fond of came to me because of unexplained bruising. He had bruises in places that were unusual, not places that he had banged into, but on the back of his forearm and in the middle of his abdomen, far away from the belt line. So we did some basic labs, including a complete blood count and a few other things without getting too technical. I saw him on a Wednesday. The results came back over the weekend when two of my colleagues were on call. They responded perfectly to this man's very, very abnormal complete blood count. He had almost no platelets, the formed elements of the blood that aid in clotting, and very, very few white blood cells. And between the three of us, each of us talked to this guy. I did the last and longest of the talks and persuaded him to come immediately to the emergency department. And over the course of that weekend, that abnormal complete blood count turned into a case of leukemia. And what was transformative about the experience was working together with people who got it right and handled the patient right, expressed concern but not panic, and got this guy the care that he needs. And truly, this is an emergency. And I believe in my heart that we saved his life.